and good afternoon from the Calendar Newsroom. The main story so far this Thursday, July the 9th. 200 more jobs under threat in North Yorkshire as the army cuts back. 13 injured as a bus hits a crane in Rotherham. And safe and well, Bella survives her underground ordeal. But first, Prince Charles is due to arrive in Halifax within the next couple of hours to open Britain's first ever children's museum, built at a cost of around £8 million.
Officially it's called Eureka, unofficially it's dubbed the Fun Factory. And today Prince Charles adds the royal seal of approval to this, the first museum for children in Britain. Eureka's been the dream of multi-millionaire heiress Vivienne Duffield. She's pledged £6 million from her charitable foundation to make the project happen.
I don't really think giving money away is about being appreciated. I think the kids will love it. And I think just seeing their faces when they walk in will be quite enough.
The museum's based around themes. One area looks at living and working, another's called Me and My Body, and a third, inventing and creating. It's expected to attract 500,000 children each year. Officials say it'll be educational and fun.
More good news now. Bella the terrier.
Now, the latest from around the region in our Thursday update from Calendar.
Turbulent times, a Yorkshire playmaker cuts jobs as American rivals shoot down their order. Frozen out, pea harvest wrecked as drought worsens. And back home, Bella's safe and well after underground ordeal. Hello, it's 6 o'clock on Thursday, July the 9th. Good evening and welcome to Calendar. Workers...
Well, it's me actually, but Britain's first ever museum for children was officially opened by the Prince of Wales in Halifax this afternoon. It's called Eureka and it's taken 7 years and £8 million to build. Now, originally, Eureka was destined for London, but the millionairess behind the unique project credits Prince Charles with bringing it to West Yorkshire. Simon Schofield reports.
If it hadn't been for him, Eureka would never have been built in Halifax, and today the Prince of Wales arrived to see the end result of his personal campaign to bring Britain's first ever children's museum to West Yorkshire. Officially, Eureka is a high-tech educational experience for children of all ages. Unofficially, it's an £8 million fun factory.
Oh my lord! Hello, Prince Charles.
The museum's split into three main themes. One area looks at living and working, with exhibits featuring shops, a bank and the home, all presented in Eureka's unique style.
It's more than a museum. There are lots of objects around here, but everything's been designed specially for children. So it's the next place where you can find out, you can try things, you can have a go, you can use all your senses. It's a place for learning, but for learning together, for enjoying yourself with a family or your school group, having a good time.
This is a laser harp, and in it is a laser beam. And there's an invisible beam of light, and when you put your hand through it, it makes a sound. So put your hand in here, and go like this.
The music section will be one of the most popular areas with the 500,000 children Eureka's expected to attract each year. It's part of the inventing and creating area. Nicholas Killen, the blind youngster whose bravery has moved millions, was one of the first to test it out. It's been designed by pop singer Dean Friedman.
What's fun about doing this installation is I've spent 2 weeks in Halifax and getting to know the place and getting to know the people here in the museum. And it's a world-class institution here. I mean, the Children's Museum is phenomenal, and this is just one part of it, but it's been a real thrill to be involved putting it together for the first time.
The third section, called Me and My Body, brings the wonders of anatomy to life with a series of hands-on exhibits explaining the secrets of the human body in a way which even the youngest of children can understand. The royal visit today, during which the Prince saw how children can learn mechanics skills in a mocked-up garage, is the culmination of 8 years' work. It's the brainchild of a millionaire heiress. Vivienne Duffield has donated £6 million through the Claw Foundation, a charitable trust which she runs. She was persuaded to site the museum in West Yorkshire after Prince Charles made a personal request for her to do so.
He took me to Halifax. I mean, there's no doubt about that. If it hadn't been for him, we wouldn't be in Halifax. And that is true. I think the kids will love it. And I think just seeing their faces when they walk in will be quite enough. I don't really expect or, I think they'll forget in 5 or 6 years' time in Halifax who built the museum, and it's really not very important. As long as the kids enjoy it, that's what it's about.
So, as it's the first museum for children, what do they think?
Here in Eureka, it's brilliant because children can touch everything and do everything.
I like the post office because you can dress up as a postman and deliver letters to, like, to Marks and Spencer's and to the bank.
The Prince gave no hint today what his sons might have thought of Eureka. He may just bring back Prince Harry and Prince William to find out for themselves.
And they tell me that at Eureka there isn't one sign that says do not touch. Well, a new survey out today says people in our part of the world drink...
This is BBC North. Look North is presented by Harry Gratian and Judith Stamper.
Hope for the parents who want to let their son die.
A toddler's race against time for a heart and lung transplant.
And the Prince of Culture visits his favourite Yorkshire town. Glamorgan without loss. Continue tomorrow.
The Prince of Wales has been in West Yorkshire this afternoon to officially open the Eureka Children's Museum in Halifax. It's the first museum in the country to be built and designed for children. It costs £8 million. During his visit, he also brushed up on his pet topic, as Katie Oscroft now reports.
The Prince is well known for his interest in architecture, and his afternoon in Halifax began with a tour around the Square Chapel. He took a keen interest in this unique building, which dates back to 1772 and is undergoing extensive restoration work. Prince Charles then braved the rain to walk across the road to the crowds waiting to greet him at the Eureka Children's Museum. It was his idea to bring the multi-million-pound project to Halifax, and today he saw the scores of working models and exhibits designed to capture the imagination of children and adults alike.
Hello. We have a very special visitor in me and my body today. His Royal Highness Prince Charles has come to visit. Oh, my lord. Hello, Prince Charles.
The museum's trustees expect millions of children to learn and play in the building now that it's officially opened.
I think he enjoyed it enormously. Well, he stayed over about an hour late going, I think, so I think that's a good measure of how much he enjoyed the visit. He met lots of people, he took lots of people, and he tried out other things as well, so he said he'd like to come back another time.
The celebrations continued outside the museum, expected to become a major tourist attraction, and as Prince Charles left, organisers were hoping he'd return with his own children.
And I hope next time he comes north he might return with some decent weather. Alan, it's been a terrible day today. It's been raining throughout the whole region, hasn't it?
Eureka, a royal opening for Britain's newest museum designed specially for children. And find out why this new cliff railway is environmentally friendly. Hello. There was a special royal opening for a brand new museum designed especially for children this afternoon. Prince Charles was shown around Eureka, as it's called. It claims to be the first museum of its kind. Children played a large part in deciding what went into it. It's been built in Halifax, North Yorkshire, near the home of press packer Toby Wardman, who's just sent us this report.
This is Eureka, the museum for children. The title museum hardly seems to fit, as you not only look at the items, but you can touch and even play on them. It took around £8.5 million and a lot of hard work to build.
This is just one small part of the museum, the yacht suitably named Eureka. There are several video screens dotted around, on which you must press the buttons to answer questions and save the yacht and its crew from a watery grave. But beware, one mistake could send you sailing back to the beginning.
Other exhibits include a town centre, shops, a bank and a very big maze called Me and My Body.
What do you have to do here?
You have to find the lovely tooth in all of them.
Right, where is it then? What are you doing here?
Well, I'm striding here like this, and I've got to see how far I could reach, and I've got to try and reach right to the end. I think it's very clever, and it's a good thing, and I like it.
And what do you think of the whole museum?
It's very good, and it's where we can investigate and do things what you're not really allowed to do at home. After you've found out about yourself, spend a few minutes in somebody else's shoes. I mean, somebody else's wheelchair.
Have you learned anything from what you were doing?
Well, I wouldn't like to be in a wheelchair all my life because I think it's quite hard for the people that push wheelchairs around.
Everyone I met thought Eureka was a museum worth visiting, and 500,000 people are expected in the first year. This is Toby Waldman for Newsround in Halifax.
And well done to Toby for that. And Halifax is, of course, in West Yorkshire and not North Yorkshire, as I said earlier on. He'll now become a finalist in the W.H. Smith Press Packer Report of the Year Awards. If you want to join the Press Pack, our club for young journalists, it doesn't cost a penny. Just write to the Press Pack, P.O. Box 54, Wetherby, LS23 7HF. That's the Press Pack, P.O. Box 54, Wetherby, LS23 7HF. You need to tell us your name, address, postcode and sex, whether you're a boy or a girl. And please send a loose first-class stamp.
To perform the official opening of the new £9 million Eureka Children's Museum in Halifax on Thursday. But when staff learned of the courage of Nicholas Killen, he was invited to join a special preview day, beginning in the music area, designed by the American singer-songwriter Dean Friedman.
One good thing about it is you don't break your fingernails playing these strings. Part of the special magical appeal of music is that it's something that reaches all kinds of people and children, and it's something that speaks a language beyond words and beyond, being able to see it.
The ball pool proved a favourite with Nicholas, who was joined rather reluctantly by his mother.
I've enjoyed it as much as he has, yeah. It's been like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory to him, I think.
What's been his reaction to some of the things he's seen here?
He's loved it, he's loved everything. He loved the flowers and the ball pool. He's loved it all.
That ain't got a smell.
It tells if you get down a bit lower.
An apple.
Is that fruit? Oh, some more around here. 2 more. He's going to learn all the time that he's here, and he's having fun while he's here. The special parts of the museum are geared up that are going to be more relevant to Nicholas, but he's having fun wherever he goes. I mean, this one's a very visual sort of area, but it doesn't matter. He's having fun here anyway.
It's a place for learning, but for learning together, for enjoying yourself with a family or your school group, having a good time. It's been called a fun factory. It's a fun factory, but it's a place to learn and enjoy yourself too.
You can do that.
All right.
Go on then. All right, I've taken them all out now, so we've got lots of empty space.
I would first, yeah.
What did you catch in the pool with balls?
Loads of fish and apples.
Because he's aware of the cameras, Nicholas wanted his own, taking pictures of his day out. His mother says she doesn't think he yet realises they're pictures he'll never see.
So a big day there for Nicholas Killen. Well, talking of big days, a couple who got married at the weekend certainly did things in style, not to mention in the dark, because the wedding ceremony actually took place in a cave.
Artifacts charts, the denims you desire come from Levi. What a turn-up for the trousers.
What sort of building comes to mind when you think of a museum? A place like this, or this? Eureka is the museum for children in Halifax. It's one of the only museums in the country where all the exhibits have a life of their own. And everywhere you look here, there are buttons to press, there are levers to pull, there are problems to solve, and there isn't a single glass case or don't touch sign in sight. The man who had to place all these exhibits under one roof is Eureka's head of design, Richard Fowler.
We wanted lots of light and colour, and we wanted children to have fun. That's a key word to this museum, children having fun, and also learning while they're here. So we really had to give this place its own identity. Sure, we picked good exhibits that worked elsewhere. We evaluated them by looking to see if they worked in their other museums, and we put some of them in here. But we also developed an awful lot of our own exhibits to go with those. It's putting that recipe together which is the important thing. Taking high-tech items, taking slick items, taking craft-made items, putting them together, getting a nice mix which people enjoy, and getting a nice balance to the displays.
This is the music box, and the man behind the design is Dean Friedman, who's here with me. Hi, Dean.
Hi, Martha.
Now, tell me, how did you get involved with this place? Because I know you've got a musical background, but why here at the museum?
Gillian Thomas, the director, had seen some work I did out in Denver and at the Brooklyn Children's Museum, and then invited me to do some projects here. The first thing that occurred to me was that conventional music and sound areas are intimidating to kids unless they know how to play a guitar or a piano. And my goal, my main goal, was to design instruments that were appealing and inviting and instantly engaging to kids so that no one would be intimidated.
Dean, I think you could make an orchestra here. It's absolutely wonderful.
Oh, absolutely. That would be my desire, to get a bunch of kids in tuxedos and have a very proper concert.
It would look great. Thanks so much. One of the largest displays at the museum explores the human body. It was dreamt up by the London design group Imagination, who certainly live up to their name.
The initial brief had a lot of scientific information and a lot of ideas in it, but what it didn't have was a storyline. And to put that across, we came up with a very zappy sort of magazine-type comic book to show how exciting the whole thing would be. The tooth and tongue machine is a very good example of how the whole design process worked. We had to decide first which bits of the eating process we wanted to show, and then we had to plan out on two-dimensional form just exactly what that thing would look like. The next thing we had to do was to model it, so we could be sure that it was actually going to work in 3 dimensions. Finally, you have to get the pictures and the words that are going to go with the machine actually to tell the story. So people standing there using it understand what it's for and get the scientific point that it's trying to make.
It's clear that a lot of thought has gone into the exhibits inside the museum, but perhaps we're forgetting something. What about the building itself?
The trustees were very keen that this new building would be an exciting modern structure. We wanted to excite visitors as they approached the curved glass wall. And a series of studies showed us that a triangular shape, or a truncated triangle, would probably be the most effective plan for. We wanted to have a very arresting entrance. We wanted the building to startle people. So we decided that we would slice into this glass wall with a huge triangular stone wall, just as a startling statement. We did have a problem during the construction of the building when the fire brigade asked for an additional escape stair, which would allow them to evacuate the flat roof above the cafe. We decided that really the way to answer this was not to have an architectural form at all, and we designed the staircase in the form of a large green dragon. So this safely gets people off the roof and doesn't conflict with our very sensitive geometry.
The incredible range of exhibits here, combined with the way they've been designed, make this museum a very unique place. But the question is, will it catch on?
Well, I think it's marvellous. But then again, I do live here.
Thanks very much indeed, Jackie. Right, that's the news front taken care of. Now, if you've just got up, or you've got up a few hours ago because the kids got you up and you're now wondering how you're going to occupy them all day, well, Fluella Benjamin thinks that she's found the answer at Eureka. Over to you, Archimedes.
I'm in Halifax visiting a museum.
boring. No, it's not. This is Eureka!
Bend it just a little bit and take it easy. Show your
Eureka is designed to teach children about the world they live in. But this is a museum with a difference. Here you can look, listen, smell and touch. There's plenty to keep everyone entertained.
What's the hustle?
In this museum, you can see Archimedes taking a bath. And the car wash. We'll take your car through the car wash.
And the car wash,
And work on a production line making briefcases. But you know, what I really need to get the best out of this place is kids. Yeah.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's go! Open up! Here we go! The largest exhibit here is Me and My Body, where you can learn how and why your body does such strange things. This is the one here. This is a great one. Come. Let me have a go first. Oh, you beat me to it. I'm next. How come I'm always lost? That's how you do it. Feels like. You don't know his beard. No. Come on, let's see what else is over here. This is what your ear looks like when you're standing still, right? We're all standing still? We're going to go topsy-turvy. Ready? Here we go. Whoa. That's brilliant, isn't it? The liquid is in your ear. You sure? You holding that one? 16, 17 kilograms. Then he swallows it. Being chewed. That's what happens when you eat the food. Eureka is the first museum of its kind in Britain. Since it was opened by Prince Charles last summer, it has been explored by over 250,000 people. Proof that you can learn and have fun at the same time. Doctor, it hurts when I do this.
Well, don't do it then.
Put your blindfold on. You having yours?
Yes.
Is it hard? You got that? Close your eyes to do it then. I don't know about you, but I am exhausted here. Oh, it's great here though, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you like best?
The thing which I liked best in there was where you could feel the others to me.
Yes.
Yeah. I like the yacht because you have lifeguards and I kept jumping into the water. I like the music room as well as the cameras. Seen all about. Give me a mid-shot 1, close-up 2 and cue Fluella. Cue.
This is Fluella Benjamin for Sunday Best at the Eureka Museum, Halifax.
Now you're all watching that. A few lessons could be learnt around this place, I'll tell you. That looks like a great day out, especially on a miserable day like this. It's one of a number we'll be featuring here on Sunday Best. And if you'd like to find out more about the Eureka Museum, that's a mouthful, Eureka Museum, here's the address. Just write to us here at Sunday Best, P.O. Box 116, London. There it is again. That's the address for all our fact sheets and information that we give you throughout the programme. Going to take a break now, back in a few minutes with a look behind the World Dart Championships, behind the scenes there, and talking to the winner, John Lowe.
Will be on display for everybody to enjoy. The address is World of Country Life, Sandy Bay, Exmouth, Devon. That's World of Country Life, Sandy Bay, Exmouth, Devon.
Tomorrow, most schools will be starting their half-term holidays. A popular outing for many children is a visit to the local museum. Such a trip can sometimes be a rather frustrating experience, with do not touch signs everywhere. But in Halifax in Yorkshire, Britain's first children's museum, Eureka, has just opened its doors with a real hands-on approach. We sent our young reporter Mark Nelson to find out more.
I've always wanted to know how TV programmes are made. And now I've got the chance to find out. And I'll be directing this one myself. Welcome to Eureka. See here. We have with us Gail Richards to help us understand the idea behind the museum. Gail.
What we've tried to provide here is a really exciting environment for children and adults to learn together about everyday things. We have exhibition spaces based around a town square where there's a shop and a bank and a factory, for example, where children can get their hands on everyday science and technology, but with their families, with grandparents and parents there to help them explore them and to help answer the children's questions in a space that the children feel really comfortable in because it's familiar to them.
Why did you choose Halifax and not London?
We've got Prince Charles to thank for that. When our sponsors approached him to ask if he would be patron, he said he and Princess Diana would be joint patrons if they stopped looking at land in London and moved north. He suggested Halifax and its area because he's always been very supportive of the development here, but also he wanted to give people in this area opportunities that normally only happen down in London.
Hello. Do you want to make one?
Yeah.
Yes? Yeah?
This is the recycling area, which is amazing. It's really made me aware of the importance of recycling. Imagine the amount of rubbish that's thrown away, all that waste. It must be recycled and made use of.
Go. Thank you.
For visitors to Eureka who themselves have hearing impairments, again, we're a new museum and we're working very hard to meet the needs of all our visitors. So, for example, we've looked very carefully at the labelling we have on our exhibits, and we have got induction loops in downstairs around the introduction point, the reception desk, and other key points throughout the museum.
This is my favourite part, me and my body. How our bodies work is really complicated, but looking around here helps us to understand just how it does work. This is a brilliant way of discovering how the stomach works. cell has signs like this, using the tongue. But the tongue has other important uses as well, for example, tasting. There are 4 different areas, such as this at the back of the tongue, for bitter things like coffee. The sides of the tongue taste sour things, such as lemons. Salt is tasted here at the front, like when you eat salted crisps. And here for sweet things, like ice cream. Mmm, beautiful. Look at the size of this ear. Hope mine don't end up like this. Sound travels through the ear along here, vibrating the bones. Around here to the nerves, and then onto the brain. This shows the balance in our ears. It's like a ball of water. When it's unsettled, you go dizzy, but if it's level, which is normal, then we stay upright. Meet my friend, Bones. Brilliant, eh? Amazing.
Many thanks to Mark for that fascinating report. I'll certainly be travelling up north for a day out with my son before too long. Eureka is open 7 days a week, all the year round, and a family ticket only costs £10, so it's not too expensive. And now, back to Clive.
Sent a letter from Lindsay Bull and Teresa Kenny.
When is a museum not a museum? When it's...
Eureka! Follow the yellow brick, follow the yellow brick, follow the yellow brick road.
Coming to you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and cue. Eureka is a hands-on museum here in Halifax. It is designed especially for young people. Here in the studio you can make your own TV programmes. You could be a cameraman,
Director,
or a newsreader.
There's loads to see, so step this way. The music box is the noisiest place, but one of the most fun. You could be a harpist.
Who needs piano lessons? You can even squeeze a few oranges. In the factory, you can join the production line and become an important cog in the wheel of lunchbox manufacturing.
It takes teamwork.
Even the signs are aimed at young people. No, you're not following me in here.
The recycle centre's one of my favourites. Come and see. Here you can learn all about what you can recycle or reuse. And you can also make paper here. What you need is tiny little scraps of paper, coloured help so you can get a nice colour of paper when it's finished. Put it in the blender and you need a lot of water in so it gets a nice gooey mixture. And you put the lid on tightly. Then you pour it into a basin.
You take a mesh and you put it in at an angle. You then try and spread it over evenly, not too thin, not too thick. Put a frame around the edges to make a nice smooth edge.
Then you have to take it round to the dryer. You pull the dryer drawer out. Take the frame off the paper. And you turn it over onto the cloth. Then you have to sponge all the water that's left. You carefully take the frame off. Then you put it into the dryer for about 5 hours. When it's finished, it looks like that.
If you like pressing things and touching things and pulling things and shoving things, you'll like Eureka!
No matter how old you are, one of the best exhibits is Me and My Body. It tells you all about you and your senses.
Hello. Please step on the feet and I will measure your height. You seem to be about 1 meter and 35 centimeters tall.
Just checking. How far can you reach? 160 centimetres. This scale shows you how much water's in your body. Mine's 16 kilograms. Have you ever wondered what your skeleton looks like? Get pedaling!
My favourite bit is adding sound effects to this film.
The best bit about Eureka is when you learn about yourself.
So that's...
Eureka! Which number's on the top, Amy? The 1? No, it's not. How did you do that? Which